blackout. There are also growing calls for Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to take accountability. So what does this mean for her government? And will the quota reforms be enough to restore calm? We'll explore these issues with our guests in a moment, but first, this report by Katya Lopez-Hodoyan.
The Supreme Court in Bangladesh appears to have listened to tens of thousands of angry students. After weeks of demonstrations and police crackdowns, the top court scaled back a quota system for government jobs. The protests began in early July after the reinstatement of a controversial policy which reserved more than half of government jobs for minorities and relatives of veterans who fought for independence in 1971. Now the court has reduced that share from 56% to 7%.
Division, Article 104
That means 93% of the quota will be for the general public, 5% for freedom fighters and their relatives, 1% for ethnic minorities, and 1% for transgender and physically disabled applicants.
Initially led by students, the protests grew to include people frustrated with high inflation and rising food prices. The government deployed the army to enforce a nationwide curfew and cut mobile and internet services to ensure security, it said. More than 100 people have been killed, thousands injured.
People were killed and tortured. They were killed with our government's permission as they called for reforms to the quota system. The state should take responsibility.
It is a matter of common sense that more than 50% of the jobs cannot be given away to quota holders. A normal state cannot be run like this.
The unrest points to a wider frustration with the governing Awami League. 7 months ago, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina won a fifth-term in elections, critics described as a sham. The opposition boycotted the vote, accusing her of corruption and suppressing dissent. About 20,000 opposition activists were arrested, but this time the government says it invited students to talks.
Students who are against the quota, we welcome them and put their proposals up for discussion. Our Honourable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina also welcomes their input.